Yep, it's back. Outlander has returned finally with part 2 of season 7. Episode 9, Unfinished Business, included emotional and heartbreaking goodbyes. We're gonna be talking about everything from where the hell Roger is to the new Jenny's outrageous wig that became the talk of the internet, not in a good way. Mind you, this will be a show-only discussion, so no spoilers for the future episodes. There's one section with spoilers and I will warn you beforehand, no worries. I will do a breakdown of the episode 10 trailer as well. Well, let's start. Episode 9. Well, first of all, I don't have to say how emotional the return to Scotland was. That scene with the trio riding towards Lallybroch was to die for. I also liked how they didn't dwell too much on Simon Fraser's funeral. Season 7 has been going at a fast pace, that's true, but I like that they immediately moved on with that part of the story and gave space to more important storylines. New Jenny was, underwhelming? Let me rephrase that. The actress seemed amazing, she was really good, but getting over someone like Laura Donnelly is not easy, okay? And if you're wondering why the actress change happened, Diana explained it best: because Laura Donnelly didn't want to come back to play the part. What bugged me, and I know it bugged you too, was the wig. It was ridiculous. It looks like a helmet. I know the show has had a rocky relationship with its wig department, but this wig was so distracting that I couldn't focus on the scenes at times. Did you have the same experience? What did you think of Kristen Atherton, our new Jenny? For me, the star of the episode was the OG Ian, who stole the show, to be honest. I especially loved his scene with young Ian and how he managed to get outside in that condition just to say goodbye to his son. You could tell how much he cared for his son just from the scene where he advised young Ian should return to America soon for Rachel. Even though he had just reunited with his son, whom he hadn't seen for years, the possibility of his son losing the love of his life was too much to bear for him. Stephen Cree, you are an amazing actor. And a dog does not a wife guarantee? Wonderful line right there. And she was back. I know there's one part of the fandom who will never, ever like Leary, and I understand that. She is crazy, but I felt bad for her in this episode. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the way she immediately ran to tend to Joey, it looked like she had found true love. I'm glad the whole deal with the alimony was settled and then she can now marry the person she really loves. I like the Jamie and Joan dynamic as well, although I would want to see more of an emotional connection between them, since Jamie made it a point about how much he cared for Joan. Anyway, it is a bit sad that this was probably the last time we saw her. Now, I have a question. Do you think it was believable for Jamie to say goodbye to Claire and let her travel without him to America? Honestly, I know there's young Ian, but I would think no one would be able to separate them any longer, considering all the shit they have been through. But I guess Jamie feels a sense of duty to remain by old Ian's side until he dies. What do you say? As for the reason Claire left, book readers know that it was supposed to be Marcelly and Fergus asking for her help to treat Henry Christian, but since the two actors playing Marcelly and Fergus couldn't return for season 7, they changed the storyline. Don't worry though, we will see them in season 8. Let's talk about Roger. Let me tell you, I loved the way the real timeline was revealed, with Roger knocking on the door and Jamie going to open it. I know you were not expecting Brian Fraser. For those who don't remember, and I wouldn't blame you, it was 10 years ago, Brian was first seen in season 1, but only briefly. As Roger figured it out, they are in the year 1739. How does that work? Does the time travel happen randomly? Do you just go to a random time? No. As explained in the show before, you have to think of someone that you want to go to. That works as a steering wheel of some sort. So Roger was probably thinking about Jem, whose full name is Jeremiah Mackenzie. But why would Jem be in 1739? Well, he's not. As the official trailer for part 2 shows, Jem is in the tunnels, hidden there by Rob Cameron, who cannot time travel, by the way, as far as we know. So Jem is in the 20th century in Bree's timeline, while Roger went back to 1739 in search of his son. Another clue for Jem being in the 20th century was revealed in the opening credits, with a child, I'm guessing Jamie, tracing the letters in Ian's baby's tombstone, which was covered in moss, meaning a lot of time had passed, a clue for Jamie's whereabouts. If you don't want to hear how he ended up in 1739, just move to this section of the video as you can see on the screen, because I will mention book spoilers. While Roger was thinking of Jeremiah Mackenzie, and one person with that name did exist in 1739. Roger's father. Do you remember the scene where Ian's father was talking about a strange man with weird clothes? Well, that was Roger's father, a World War II pilot who accidentally time traveled to 1739. We should be seeing the meeting of the two in the next episode. I am so excited for this. I don't want to go into the details of it, but the story is so heartbreaking to say the least. The episode ended with Geilis. Don't be surprised to see her. When Claire first traveled to the past, she ended up in 1743, and Geilis was already there as an established healer, meaning she must have arrived a few years earlier. Do expect to see Dougal in the following episodes. Episode 10 trailer. Starz has released a preview for episode 10, which is titled Brotherly Love. As the beginning of the teaser suggests, the brotherly love in question is the love and brotherhood between Jamie and old Ian. Jamie assures him that he will stay by his side as long as he wants.
I've loved you as my brother. Aye. I'll stay as long as you need.
Next, Claire arrives in Philadelphia, which is under British occupation, as she lets us know. I mean, that's dangerous for her, no? Considering she and her husband had just fought for the opposing side in the Battle of Saratoga. There are soldiers on the street checking people's documents. Claire and Lord John Grey finally meet. It's good to see you, she says. It always is, Claire. It always is. They're in Mrs. Woodcock's house. This lady right here, she's nursing Henry as he's injured from the battle. She will get to play an important part in the story later. There's then the funniest scene between Roger, Buck, and Geilis.
Am I a shocking sight to you, sir?
She's killed 5 husbands.
What's interesting is that Buck is actually Geilis and Dougal's son, so I'm really curious as to how this conversation will go. More of Claire and Mercy Woodcock, and bad news by Lord John Grey. Lord John is giving some bad news to Claire. This was also teased in the official trailer for part 2, with John telling Claire that Jamie was dead, and Claire did not believe it because she knew she would feel it in her heart if his had stopped. This whole ordeal with Claire and Lord John thinking that Jamie is dead will be quite interesting. Of course, Jamie is not dead. There's a misunderstanding, but the teaser makes it look like somehow Jamie arrived in America and William is shooting him. It doesn't make any sense. We also see Rachel running away though. Overall, the preview is tense as our characters who have been helping the rebels for some time now are now in the territory controlled by the British. If they were to be found out, they would be arrested, and the rest would not be good, let me tell you that. It is safe to say that the next episode will focus on old Ian and his most likely death. Young Ian and Rachel's reunion, Claire tending to Henry, and Jamie's fake death storyline to end the episode. What do you think? I know we're still dealing with Season 7, but if you want to find out more about Season 8, check out this video.